Hi, good morning, everyone. Not to be rude, but food is affecting your mood, dude. Don't you get it? You all know me as Mr. Brody, and as many of you know, I am a brain surgery survivor. So learning about brain health and the science of neuroplasticity and the mechanics of biology absolutely changed my life. I've come to understand the importance of nourishing our brains through the foods that we eat. And as the soon to be PhD graduate in natural medicine, I want to share you all some scientific information about my top 7 brain health foods that I use in my recovery and how they affect our mood. Think in terms of donuts instead of nuts. So this is just a hint of where my speech is going. Number 1, we have omega-3 fatty acids, which are found in foods such as salmon, sardines, and cod. These essential fats are crucial for the development and function of our brain cells. Studies show that a diet rich in omega-3s improves memory, reduces inflammation in the brain, and can even reduce the risk of depression and Alzheimer's disease. I personally supplement with omega-3s every single day. Number 2, we have blueberries. These small but mighty fruits are packed with antioxidants that helps protect our brain cells from damage. Blueberries have been shown to boost memory retention, improve our ability to focus, and even delay age-related declines of brain function. Coming in at number 3, we have avocados. These fruits are rich in healthy fats, which are essential for the fatty connective tissue of our brain cells called myelin. Avocados have been shown to improve memory as well as reduce inflammation, and recent research suggests that the monosaturated fat in avocados can help lower blood pressure, which can promote overall brain health. At number 4, we have turmeric. This spice, commonly found in India, is a true superfood. Turmeric contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called curcumin, which is scientifically proven to help with mental acuity and reverse aging in the brain. Some evidence suggests that turmeric can be beneficial and help anyone who is suffering from depression and or anxiety. So here's a pro tip. If you want your turmeric to become more bioavailable in your body, which basically means have the nutrients circulate through your body better, you're going to want to consume turmeric with some black pepper. At number 6, we have nuts. Like me, I'm kind of nutty, but we have almonds and walnuts. And they are strikingly rich in healthy fats like vitamin D, which is extremely important for regulating serotonin, for maintaining how our brain functions, and really how we show up in the world. And lastly, we have the delicious and nutritious eggs, or in Spanish, we call them huevos. Huevos pack a powerful punch of choline that contains an essential nutrient for regulating memory, mood, and even how our motor cortex regulates muscle control in our body. Choline plays a critical role in neurotransmitter function and how it interacts with action potentials and how they fire and wire and communicate together. So here's a bonus tip. Remember to stay hydrated. Latest estimates show that our brain is close to 73% water. I like to drink half my weight in fluid ounces daily. So right now I'm about 160 pounds. So that means I would drink about 80 ounces of water to do that trick. Now that I may have unfortunately bored you to death with my presentation, I'll leave you with this powerful quote. As the late, great Colonel Sanders said, "I'm way too drunk to taste this chicken." Just kidding. That man probably had horrible brain health, so stay away from the booze. So all kidding aside, these foods that I helped mention above help mold my brain into a well-functioning and oiled machine. And I hope this information will inspire you to make some changes around your diet.
All right. Thank you, Brody. I loved it. That was great. It helps me to kind of look at some other things that I might want to add into my diet and my eating habits. So thank you for sharing that with us. That was fantastic. If you would all like to take a few moments and via the chat, you can send a direct message to Brody and send him some feedback, some love notes on his speech. So I'll give you guys a moment to do that.
And life-altering events are something I think we all have experienced in our lives. Today, I'm going to share with you a specific life-altering event that I recently had, the effects that it's had on me, and how I plan to respond to those effects. On October 2nd of 2021, my wife and I welcomed our beautiful baby girl into the world. I wish I could say it was the happiest day of my life, but unfortunately, it was the most terrifying day of my life. In the wee hours of the morning, our girl was born via cesarean section, and she came out of the womb, unfortunately, not breathing. They had to work on her for several minutes, and eventually they got her breathing. I spent the next few hours with her in recovery in the nursery, while my wife, after a really traumatic experience in birth, was recovering. Well, after being on about 36 hours straight of not sleeping, I returned to the room with my wife. And not within 20 minutes of me returning to the room with her, it seemed like every doctor and every nurse on the floor were screaming and yelling at each other, almost at a scene of a drama doctor show, like ER, if anyone remember that show, screaming all the typical words at each other. And for 30 minutes, they wheeled her off, trying to save her life. I did not know if I would ever see her again. It was terrifying. Fortunately, however, the doctors did their best, and she is very healthy today, and my daughter is as well. After about a week and some time spent in the ICU, we had come home with as a new family of three instead of two. Well, this traumatic event changed me in ways that took me a while to understand and realize. Prior to the birth of my daughter, I was someone different, or maybe I felt like I was someone different. I was a person that would wake up at 5 a.m., go to a CrossFit workout, go on a run, eat healthy. This traumatic event, though, really changed things. I no longer wanted to even wake up and get out of bed in the first place. All I wanted to do was sleep and eat. My job performance suffered. I felt like my life was out of whack. I didn't know what I was doing. I had dreams before this happened to join the military, be a United States Marine Corps officer. But my habits in life were not that reflecting of someone heading in that direction. Well, it's been 16, 17 months since then, and I believe I have found some changes in my life. Now, what I described to you sounds like depression. Probably is. I'm not the type of person that gets sad. I must say, like, I'm generally pretty happy, and I was still pretty happy throughout all of this. I just had very low energy, and low energy makes you feel like you're not being the person you are called to be. And each time you try something different, and you fail, you feel like you let yourself down over and over and over again. So I have decided to make really small changes to my life. Nothing big. Before I could run 3 miles at 5 a.m. I could run it pretty fast too. Now I can't even wake up at 5 a.m. It takes 7:30 a.m. before I finally start to feel awake. So the small changes that I'm implementing in my life are walk every single day. As Craig, our tip of the day, had mentioned, walking is great for you. Now, I'm not necessarily going on a nature stroll. I do want to make a bit of a workout. I toss on my weighted pack and I go for a nice walk for 30 minutes. And I come home. And after that, I'm sure to celebrate. I say, good job. You did it. You went out, you exercised, you experienced nature, and it makes me feel way better. In addition to that, I am drinking two of these. This is about 40 ounces of water. And I'm not really exercising too intensely. So it's about 80 ounces of water I'm drinking per day. If you add in the other food, I'm probably reaching close to Brody's goal of water per day to sustain my body with. In addition to that, I'm making sure to get at least 7 hours of sleep every night. Before I was running every day. I was doing CrossFit every day. I was going to work. Then I was coming home and studying for 3 hours. I lived a pretty packed life and I was loving it. It was hustle hard, work hard. Well, at this season in life, it is simply something that I am not able to do. I know that I can do great things in my life. And I know that one day I will be able to accomplish the things that I can set out to accomplish. And even today, I am doing that by accomplishing the little things, the small things. And if we do those small things every day, I challenge you, my audience, to also do those small things every day to lead you on a path to greatness and a path to success.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Brody, your speech is not about life and death, but I feel like it might as well be. Food and health and mood certainly are not something in the forefront of our mind, especially not for everybody, but they're closely related, certainly as living and dying. Although I think there are some limitation because of the not being present in the room, but I have never seen people delivering a speech while driving, so it was definitely a new experience to me. I wouldn't recommend that to everybody though. It was actually nerve-wracking. From the opening, you mentioned about your brain surgery. You established as you are the right person to deliver the topic. I thought that was a really good strategy to pull your audience in. Perhaps you were trying to make that a little bit likely. I feel like the emotion part and you intend to make that a little bit contradicting itself a little bit. The main content made up almost a whole bunch, about at least 3 minutes from your speech. Again, back to people who are not really paying a lot of attention on choices of food, it may actually get dry very quickly. So I thought that in the middle of that, you interjected a humor that was a very, very clever move to break the pattern. So good play on that. Although you say the objective was really to inform, but I think if you make that a little bit more like on an advocacy base, it will be actually a whole lot more powerful. Back on the content, I think the content would have been actually a little bit more effective reading than listening. So although that I enjoyed the speech, I wasn't very motivated to change the pattern. I think picking the topic and delivering it has to be very coherent. But nonetheless, I really enjoy your demeanor. You're driving, you're delivering the speech, and you are trying to be very energetic. So that was really enjoying. I think you are a good speaker, given the right topic and something that you are really passionate with. I couldn't wait to see, what else can you surprise us with. Hopefully it's not driving and delivering a speech. Well done. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right, thank you, Tom. Very good thoughts. And if anybody has some evaluation, some tips for Tom on how he did, encouragement or things you work on, go ahead and send that through the chat to him. Speech.
Great. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Tom, this was one of your best speeches. And matter of fact, all your speeches are good. But I know you've been a lot more intentional here lately and want to even become better in your speech making abilities. So what I want to do is share with you and the entire club members things that you did well and a couple of things that I think you can improve upon to make this even a better speech. Now, the objective of this speech was for you to inspire us. Now, I looked up the word inspire, and it means to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. And I think you accomplished that goal. Now, here's the things you did very well. You were organized. You gave us the 3 points of the things you were going to share with us about what affected you, and then how you plan to respond to those effects and the effects themselves. You were also very vulnerable, sharing an emotional story with us. Another thing you did great too was you used the title of your speech throughout your speech a couple of times. And then at the very end, you gave us a challenge. And your speech was very conversational, very casual. And so I give you kudos on those points. Here's a couple of things I want you to work on, not only you, but all of us. We tend to have our set way of speaking. I want you to increase your vocal variety and the tone of your voice by exaggeration. You could have slowed down when you said, when my baby wasn't breathing. And just pause, make it emotional, bring us into that scene. And the second thing I want you to do, and Dan does an excellent job with this, I want you to stand up when you're giving a speech and show us more of your body language. Because then I think we'll be able to not only see you, but also experience your body language as you inspire us. Tom, great job. Thank you for sharing the story, and thank you for inspiring us. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Great job, Greg. Thanks again. Okay, timers report on evaluations. Craig, how'd they do?